Welcome to the channel. In my last video I swapped my HTPC into the Thermaltake TR200 case, and while I was doing that I decided to install Linux on it. Last year I installed Bazzite on my gaming handheld PC, and it has been working well ever since. So I thought that I'd try another distro of Linux and decided to go with Linux Mint 22.3 Cinnamon, because it seemed to be widely regarded as a simple distro to use when making the switch from Windows. So the idea of this video is to help other less experienced Linux users like me by showing how easy it can be to set up a simple home theatre PC on Mint. I'll just show the main specs here for anyone who's curious. The PC just uses the integrated graphics on the CPU. I've listed the Ethernet and audio controllers that the motherboard uses, as a big concern that you hear when considering Linux is the compatibility with drivers. But with this particular build, I've had no problems at all with Wi-Fi, audio or Bluetooth. The install grabbed all the drivers that were needed, and all my devices have worked perfectly. This isn't going to be a tutorial on how to get boot media ready for installation. It's best to just follow the instructions on the Linux Mint website, especially if you are dual booting. My install is not a dual boot. I write the Windows partition on an external M.2 drive that I already had, and formatted the whole drive for Mint. Just a little reminder though that on your first boot into Mint, it will run a live session from the USB. There will be an icon on the top left corner to complete the install, where it will ask you to restart the computer and take out the USB drive. You'll go through the usual OS installation stuff like username and password setup, Wi-Fi and all that. When you are into Mint, you'll be greeted by this welcome pop-up. This is just to give you an opportunity to get an idea of the different settings and customization options available with Mint. So, the first thing that I'll go through is Webpage desktop shortcuts. If you want to save YouTube or another streaming service as a desktop shortcut, as I have here, it's quite simple to do. As an example, I'll use the Linux Mint webpage. It's as simple as highlighting the address bar and dragging and dropping it to the desktop. That will give you a blank icon, but it is customizable. You can right-click on the icon and select Properties. Then click on the icon again in that menu. This will give you options for where to select an image from. Select Browse and go to your pictures. You can save a relevant image from the web and it'll show up here. So just select the image and select it again in the next pop-up and you're done. Next, I'll show transferring files from Windows to Mint if it's something you need to do. From what I researched, it's commonly suggested to have an external drive for this type of thing formatted to NTFS, as it can be easily read by both Windows and Linux, whereas the ext4 format for Linux can't always be read easily by Windows, though I could be wrong. But in my experience here, it worked quite well on both computers with the drive formatted to NTFS. I formatted the drive in Windows and just added a movie folder for these transfers. Then when plugging the drive into my Mint PC, it recognized it immediately and the file transfer was simple. For playing movies, Mint has an app already included in the install called Celluloid. It's very easy to use. The movie transfers that I made from my Windows PC were MKV files from Blu-ray rips, which worked flawlessly here when selecting files to play. If you have an optical drive in your PC, or externally, any DVD you insert will pop up on the desktop and ask you what you want to do with it, similar to Windows. Next is app installation. Mint has a built-in utility for this called Software Manager. You can see popular apps already displayed here on the homepage, and you can use the search bar. So, let's say that I wanted to install VLC Player. I can click on the search result and click Install. It will ask for my password before continuing with the install. Once the app is installed, you can find it automatically sorted into the right group of apps, which here is in sound and video. Then you can right-click on it and add it to the desktop or panel. If you want to add your physical music collection to your PC, and you have an optical drive, then it's not difficult at all. You can find a Sunder CD Ripper in Software Manager and install it. When you pop a CD in the optical drive, it'll ask you which app to use to open it. So select a Sunder and hit Rip. The album will save its own folder in your files, but you can drag and drop it into the music folder. This will help with importing it to a music player. The built-in music player in Mint is called Rhythmbox. There is a section for importing music where you can select which folder you want to add files from. So if I select the music folder, it'll pull the album I placed in there and just select import to immediately add it to your collection. Since most people will be using a TV for the HTPC and will be sitting several feet away, it's probably best to change the scaling. This setting can be found by right-clicking on the desktop and selecting Display Settings and then the Change User Interface Scale option. This is actually what it looks like by default at 100% scale when I first booted up Mint on my 55-inch TV. As you can see, that's not ideal for using from several feet away. I found that 200% is perfect for my needs. I haven't recorded it here, but the desktop icon sizes can also be enlarged by right-clicking on the desktop and selecting Customize. You'll find the option there. Panel size can also be adjusted by right-clicking on the panel and selecting Panel Settings. And you have some easy to understand options here for the panel. Changing your desktop background is also simple. Just right-click on the desktop and select that option. Mint has a pre-installed collection of backgrounds to choose from. You can also browse through your files and select any images that you have saved or transferred to your Pictures folder. That's it for this video. There are a lot more things that you can do to really make it your own and personalize it even more, but I honestly haven't gotten around to that yet. I've been using Mint for about a month and have really liked how easy it is to use. Hopefully this video will help anyone considering the switch to Linux for something like this to give it a try. It's not as intimidating as it seems. Thanks very much for watching.